Hello, you. Yes, I said yesterday I was going to do a video about the legacy of James Lloyd Evans and the Lloyd Evans channel, because apparently it's all about the legacy. It's got nothing to do with the money, but it's all about the legacy. The leaked posting that he made on Patreon, which Jake Vaughan at Altworldly, the Twitter, managed to reveal to us all, was really interesting. And there's some really interesting bits in it. I have read it once before, but the bits in it where he says in relation to his channel and his work, he says, I care too much. I care too passionately about my 10 years of activism against the Jehovah's Witness organisation to let this defamatory material stay floating around online, potentially tarnishing my work long after I am gone. Right, so long he's worried that his work will be tarnished long after he's gone. And he also then goes on he says, I hope you can all understand that the same resilience informs my efforts to clear my name so that my work and legacy can be protected. So apparently it's all about the work and the legacy of James Lloyd Evans. Got absolutely nothing to do with the the money at all. And what I said at the time was, clearly, if the person's done the most damage to his work and his legacy is him. So I was thinking about other people who did some good work in the past, but their legacy is not, it's not their good work that we remember, or their good name anymore. The list is long and massive. So if you think about, for instance, Clinton, he brokered a peace deal between Palestine and Israel. Remember that famous photograph where he had his arms and let Yasser Arafat and the other bloke, shake hands and that and welcome them together. And then, of course, if we ever think of Bill Clinton now, we only think about a couple of things. We think about a cigar. I won't go into the story about the cigar. We think about him going, actually saying a statement that he had no sexual relations with that woman, and then later having to retract that and saying, actually, I did. I just didn't think that oral sex counted as sexual interaction. Bizarre. That's why it's called oral sex. Yeah, bizarrely. Don't know why that never dawned on him. And now it doesn't matter what. Bill Clinton could have done fantastic things, when he was, got impeached as well. I forgot about that. He could have done fantastic things, but unfortunately his legacy is now tarnished. If we ever think about Bill Clinton, the first thing that comes to mind is Monica Lewinsky, that dress, that stain. If only she'd swallowed and not spat out, and then maybe none of this had happened. But that's his legacy. The legacy, all the good things that he may have done, is all ruined because of what happened in the fact that he got involved in a sex scandal. I think of somebody else, Harvey Weinstein. He produced a lot of good content. His Miramax film company, along with his brother, produced some great films, and he's down as the producer on, and his name will never be removed as producer. So every time I watch, because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and every time I watch any of the trilogy, and the not particularly good Hobbit trilogy, the first one was pretty good, the second one okay, but oh god, what happened in the third one? But whenever me and my son watch the Lord of the Rings, we always sort of look. It's not good to chuckle, but it always comes up as Harvey Weinstein in the as being a producer. Yet when we think of Harvey Weinstein now, do we think about him being a producer and all the great work that he was involved with? And there's a whole host of films that he was involved with, including the Lord of the Rings trilogy. No, we don't think of that at all. Just because you produce great work, that doesn't mean that you cannot escape the consequences of a sex scandal. And now, of course, Harvey is actually, I think he's in prison, doing 23 months, I believe, for a whole series of sex scandals. When you think about Prince Andrew, for instance, during the Falkland War, he actually flew a helicopter to try and get the Exocet missiles, fired by the Argentinians, and to actually, for him to be the target, to try and take it away from the troop carriers. He really, really did put his life on the line. And then he was a patron of a whole load of charities, and obviously people benefited by him being a patron of the charities. So a lot of people benefited out of his name being there and him turning up at events. But when we think of the legacy of Prince Andrew, what do we think about now? You can really think about Virginia Defray. We think about that picture where he has no memory at all of that picture getting taken, of ever meeting her, but he's managed to pay somebody he's never met a photograph that he doesn't remember being taken, £12 million or $12 million. And obviously he's another person who doesn't have a job and solely lives off other people's contributions, i.e. the British taxpayer, for him to fund his lifestyle. Yet that's his legacy gone. It doesn't matter all the good things he's done in the past. The man that, when we think about the legacy of Prince Andrew, that will be his legacy from now till the day he dies. It's absolutely ruined. And then we think about James Lloyd Evans. Produced a lot of good content, and a lot of people have benefited from the things that he did, but his legacy has been ruined by being involved in a sex scandal. It's been ruined by a sex scandal, and he wants to somehow remove this scandal from history. And his attempts to do this by trying to extort money out of the 12 is only, as I've said before, making this worse. If you think about it now, if you think about the legacy of the man, eventually there's going to be a time, and hopefully more sooner than later, to be honest with you, where everything will just shut down, everything will go away quietly. He will still, I'm sure, want to produce his content, because he can't be arsed doing a decent day's work again in his life. He was on to a sure good thing which saw him jetting around the world and the benefits from many of those trips. But his Patreon people is dropping every single day. It's down to, I don't know what it is now, but it was, in fact, shall we have a quick look? it may have gone down since last I checked, which I think was last night. I just do this on a sort of daily basis to sort of cheer myself up a wee bit, with you. But if we look at his Patreon page,
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh God, don't hear that voice, do we? Whew, gives you the willies. We're down to, well, it's not a joint here. He is down to 637. Last time I looked, I'm sure it was 644. So he's lost another 7. I'm pretty shit at maths, as you can tell. I'm pretty shit at most things, so I think he's lost 7 in the last couple of days. So it keeps on dropping down to a point that maybe he won't be able to fund these lavish trips abroad. But I'm sure he will continue to produce the Lloyd Evans channel, doing his little chats. There'll still be all the Lloyd outs there. I think he's absolutely wonderful. His hair and his beard and his wee double chin and those cheeky wee t-shirts he wears. They will still love him. People will still pay money to him. But as for all the inside leaks that he used to get from somebody in the headquarters of the witness organisation, who do you think now is going to trust him with any more inside material? If I was in the headquarters of the Watchtowers and I had sent him all the stuff which I actually thoroughly enjoyed, to be honest with you, I quite enjoyed those leaks. Like I thought Pillowgate was brilliant, but who's going to entrust that information to him anymore? I bet that the person who has been sending Lloyd a lot of leaked stuff is absolutely regretting that now, because they now know that the information they've shared with him, he on the back of that got more patrons on Patreon. He got more views, and that funded his immoral lifestyle. So I'm sure the people have been sending him material, or the person regrets doing that, and I don't see that happening anymore. So it is the same of the people that he's managed to appear with him, who are from the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses community, and not just the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses community, all the people who've, experts, what have you, have appeared with him on his channels, on his channel. How many people now, if all of a sudden you get an approach from Lloyd Evans to say, I'd like you to appear on a live streaming event, how many people now would go anywhere, touch him with a barge pole, touch you in with Little Lloyd? How many people? He's going to really struggle to get anybody interested to appear with him again. When it comes to any more scandal, maybe in relation to Jehovah's Witnesses in Britain, for instance, how many of the broadcasters are going to approach him and say, we'd like your response to the latest scandal in some Kingdom Hall in some random town in Britain? How many people are going to approach him? That is gone. Do you think Leah Remini's or Mike Rinder are ever going to approach him, or Netflix? Well, I think Netflix should approach him. I'd love to see that special Netflix is, but again, like I said, they've missed the boat on that one. But do you think Rinder and Leah Remini are ever wanting to do any sort of collaboration with Lloyd Evans ever again? I don't think so. His name is mud, and the reason why his name is mud, it's got nothing to do with all the adjudication from other YouTube users where we've passed our judgments, deliberated, and we've passed our judgments and our findings on the whole debacle, but it is because of Lloyd's own admission, and it, as I've said before, it isn't really admission. At the end of the day is the man didn't have a big pair big enough to actually say, it is me, I can only blame me. Instead, as we all know, he blamed his witnessy upbringing from like 10 years ago for being suppressed sexually. He blamed his own wife, which was, oh dear, it's just awful. He blamed Little Lloyd as well, and then his out of control penis. Little Lloyd, come back, Little Lloyd, come back, you nutty out of control penis. You know, it's just ridiculous. And so at the end of the day is his legacy has been ruined by his own sex scandal, where he finally where we finally had somebody who absolutely blew this apart. And that happens to most. You need somebody within any sex scandal, you need somebody who's really brave and just stand up and just say, this guy can't talk about this because of this, that and the other. And that's what's brought down all these mega stars and, you know, what have you. You need somebody brave to stand up, and that's what's happened in this case. So that's it really. There's not much more to say about it. His legacy will always be this. It doesn't matter if you can try and extort money out of us due to his lack of funds anymore. It's not going to work. I'm certainly not paying anything to this guy, and if it goes all the way and if he wants to take it further, it's going to cost him more money. And like I said, I think this went to court, he would lose big style, and then I would have thought you'd get even the likes of newspapers would be interested in this story. This isn't going to go away at all. His legacy has been tarnished. It is ruined. He may continue doing his channel, but I'm sure he will do it. But at the end of the day, when we ever, in 10 years' time, if we're all still here, if the Ukraine crisis doesn't, you know, explode into World War III, if we're all still here in 10 years' time, and we look back on, you know, James Lloyd Evans, we won't think about Pillowgate, we won't think about Bottlegate, we'll think about Prosygate, we'll think about Lloydgate, we'll think about his video, which I'm sure for all of us it's probably seared into our minds of how truly awful that was, and his legacy is ruined. So the end of the day is, sorry Lloyd, the damage was done. The damage was done by yourself. You need to man up, grow a big hairy pair, and actually come onto YouTube and just say, I'm completely to blame. I apologise to all the patrons through Patreon who've paid me for my activism work, and I have eroded my trust with them by using those funds for illicit and illegal and criminal means. That's what we need from the man. Until he actually does that, at least Clinton eventually had the balls to go on camera and say, actually, I did. You know, he did that video, and then he actually had the balls to eventually come out and say, yes, I did. He admitted his guilt. And then there was more further scandal as well after that when other people came out. But at least he admitted that one. So I think Lloyd needs to do a Clinton, actually do a little video and actually apologise. It'd be nice to see that, but it's not going to happen, is it? As for the... Where did he come from? As for the latest video that has been put up by Kim and Mikey, it seems as though some people are going to some awful depths to try and entrap people pretending to be a survivor of CSA. And what a shame that there are the Lloydites out there who are using entrapment, you know, to try and get material that they actually thought they were speaking to this individual. Again, I'm not going to go into naming names because I haven't done, but yeah, it's not very nice. It's getting really dirty and unhanded now, and it's I don't know what to say. So if you haven't seen it yet, there's a fantastic video. Lloyd asked us all to apologise, and Capitan is one of the 12, did a fantastic apology video to Lloyd Evans. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to put it in the description because it's really worth watching. It's fantastic. I was watching it last night, and me sides were splitting. Me sides were splitting at some of the bits. It was really, really good. So there you go. That was his apology. And again, as I've already reiterated several times, I've already said, you know, given Lloyd the offer to do a video to apologise for the patrons on Patreon and to donate 3,000 euros to the Ukrainian funding, and I will remove every bit of Lloyd content, and so that offer still applies, but still I think it came to the 21st, so 13th, so he's still got another 8 days. But 8 days on waiting. After that, we'll just call it a day. So anyway, I'd like to thank you again for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day. It's quite a nice day here, and I'm going to go and do some reading and have a little drink as well. And I'll just end on the the theme song that James Lloyd Evans could have used if his Living in Croatia channel had only gone off. So I said he should have used the Knowing Me, Knowing You. So I just go, knowing me, knowing you, ma. That's what he should have done. But hey ho, that's not. What a fine legacy it could have had if it's all been about you and me. Anyway, see you later. Bye bye. Have fun.